Hey everyone, it's James at geometriccharts.com. It's about 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. And today is January 2nd. Happy New Year to everyone. Hopefully everyone had a great New Year, great holiday. First of all, the information is not investment advice. Second of all, based on the price action from what I've seen between the holidays, and I think it kind of made price stagnate out a bit just due to the holidays and due to price being contained, due to the futures market being closed, and etc. So what it looks like now is that Bitcoin is trying to push higher. The problem is, like, every single pump is very weak. It's being sold into. You can see it on the candles, you can see it in the volume, and etc. If Bitcoin can break over the 4,300 top and sustain trading above this top right here, it's about, hang on real quick, let me see, 4,380. If it can break above 4,380 on Bitfinex and stay trading above that, then I do think we will start to see Bitcoin start to trek a little bit higher, possibly into the low 5,000 area from there. If not, and Bitcoin keeps doing the same thing, while I think there's a little more upside on the horizon for Bitcoin, I just don't think it's going to be able to sustain this move up, and I do think there will be a collapse in the near term. So it might not be this week, might not even be next week, but sometime in the near future, I do not think that Bitcoin is going to sustain the move upward unless it does something magical from this area and is able to break through the prior top, okay, and sustain trading above that with consistent volume. And so far, I've yet to see that. And every push up, it's just looking more and more feeble. Some of the alts pushing up. Some of the alts are getting very close to their prior top back on December 24th. So they're kind of like right on that edge. And I think these alts, they may show us the way, whether they're honestly going to take off like rockets from here, relieve a lot of the selling pressure from this initial drop in mid-November, or they're going to start to collapse out. And again, I would imagine that if one of them starts, it's going to be just a domino effect down the line. That's pretty much what I've seen with Bitcoin and the altcoins. It's like once one starts to go, the rest start to go. So that's pretty much it. If Bitcoin starts to drop off from here, okay, and all of a sudden we start breaking down and we're under about 3,700, I definitely think we're going to revisit this bottom down here. I don't know if that bottom is going to hold or not, but I do think if we start to fade from this area where we're currently trading at and we start to see some big candles to the downside, I imagine it's going to take no time whatsoever, maybe a couple days, before Bitcoin is right back down to 3,200. And then the question is, does that area hold? And if that area doesn't hold, the next big band for Bitcoin to find buyers is in the like mid 2,000 range. So we'll see what happens here. But like I said, if it's able to break above, then I think we'll see a little more upside. Either way, I do think Bitcoin is skating on thin ice. I don't see this as a powerful move. There was a lot of volume that came in during this move up, and that volume quickly started to leave, like we've seen in the past over and over and over again. So I do not believe the pump and dump game is over. The problem is trying to identify when that dump comes, and that dump will come. And I already know there's people out there that are calling this the bottom, and some people are targeting 11,000 or some other crazy number way outside of the scope of anywhere we've been since literally, when was the last time we were up in 11,000? Back in March and February. Like somehow we're just going to completely skyrocket straight there. Like that's just absolute insanity. But that's what you find in these markets. That's what you find when people are trying to use these clickbait videos and titles and so forth just to attract people, just to lure them in. Yet, you know, in a couple months down the road, they'll be making apology videos to everyone. There's just not that. Even if, and a lot of people are talking about this inverse head and shoulders. Even if the inverse head and shoulders comes to fruition, that's not going to reach 11,000. Maybe the downtrend line, 5,200 or something like that. If if it can sustain that. And honestly, I don't think it has the energy necessary to sustain it. And the only way I'm going to get proven wrong is if we smash through 43, 4,400 with clear conviction, like a gigantic candle that says, hey, guess what? I am going to that, mid 5,000 range or low 5,000 range. That would be the only way I would even change my mind about Bitcoin going there. Now, that being said, like full disclosure, like I do have a long position in Bitcoin, and I've had a long position with my subscribers back, before the new year. So I do think, again, there's short-term upside, but even like this area right here to relieve this selling pressure, I think is fantasy land. I really do. I think anything above 43, 4,400 on Bitfinex is pure fantasy and wishful thinking based on everything I've seen in this market. So, take from it what you will, but I really don't think we have the strength in this market to sustain a big move like that. And if it does occur, I think it's going to end up collapsing in on itself like we did back in here, where you see this, this spike up, obviously not in one single bar, but you see this immediate collapse back down. The same way Bitcoin started trekking upward. Remember, everyone's like, this is the bottom. This thing is going to the moon. Everyone's becoming mega rich. Finally going to get to the moon, dust off all those Lamborghinis, and take one for a joyride. And the market ended up collapsing out. That's what I think we're headed for in this market. Yet once again, the same things keep reoccurring over and over and over again. And I know people get pissed off when I talk about it. A lot of people enjoy it. That's why I do the videos the way I do. But I keep seeing the same things over and over and over again. It's just like penny stocks. It's just like penny stocks over and over and over. They pump it up. They get everything rocking and rolling. Everyone's feeling euphoric. They pump out the articles. You get all the people on social media looking for clickbait, talking about the pump is real. That's it. We're going to the moon. Everyone's becoming mega rich, etc. And it just becomes like this wild beast that just gets way out of control, and people just get ensnared by essentially the siren's call. And they get led right to the slaughter time and time again. It doesn't matter how many videos I make like this, but this is just the unfortunate nature of this market, and really any market, when you start to get out of control like this, where you get these wild swings up and down. But to me, it really, really, really reminds me of penny stocks. And I think that's the only thing that really saves me with the prior videos that I've put out there on YouTube about calling these moves and calling them for what they are, is because there's so many similarities between this and penny stocks, and the only people that really get rich are the market makers in this area. So obviously you have big players, you have exchanges, etc. Those are the people really, really bringing home the big bucks. I mean, obviously you have the original people who've been in Bitcoin since it was an infant, and made a ton of money. But I imagine even a lot of those people have been beaten to death. I imagine a lot of the people who made millions in Bitcoin probably been beaten to death if they held on and did not sell out, and they believed in that siren's call that's out there. So it doesn't mean that I think this is the end of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. It just is not going to be this easy area to become mega rich like everyone keeps trying to believe, right? Like you have the initial bubble phase, then you have the return to normalization, and we could be a decade before Bitcoin ever even sees prices like 20,000 and etc. And a lot of the people that are looking for that move won't be around to take advantage of that move if what we're doing is entering into normalization. And the only thing that is going to prove that is time. I have no crystal ball. I don't know when that's going to happen, but if we can start to base out somewhere, like I thought we were doing in the sixes, we could potentially have that return to normalization of the market, where maybe the banks or whatever the controlling entities are have had their fill. They all agree that this is a great area for price to stay, until they are able to completely dominate the entire market, fix it just like fiat's fixed, and then go from there. So we'll see what happens, but that's just me kind of going on a little tangent, a little extra for the videos. But anyways, I thank everybody for their time. I thank everybody for their support. Hopefully everything makes sense. Again, I don't talk about like this bearish drop or anything like that because I'm just putting bull crap out there. I'm trying to elaborate on why I feel this way and what I've seen in the past, what I see reoccurring time and time again. So again, hopefully it all makes sense to everybody. But that's it. I'll do another video on Friday. I hope everybody has a great day, great night, great new year. And again, thank you for your time. If you do like the videos, like, comment, subscribe, follow, and have a great day or night.